Folks, today's episode is sponsored by Chops Cards and Print on Demand. How awesome would it be to have your own custom trading card? Chops Cards is committed to independent wrestling organizations, wrestlers, and fans. And it's so easy. Tell Chops what you want, they produce it and ship it directly to you. And that's not all. I proudly would like to share that Chops has also completed their Series 1 collection. Today, we're giving you a 20% discount off your purchase with our promotional code AAW20. So, click the link in the description and get in on this deal. Today, I come to you as Doink the Clown. Yes, I'm a man of my word, and we're talking about wrestling. On a related topic, I asked the question, do wrestlers respect kayfabe? We're going to talk about it. We're going to have a discussion amongst other topics. Stay tuned.
Do y'all know what time it is? Do y'all really know what time it is? It's time to grab your popcorn, grab your best beverage. It's time to relax your ears. Wrestling season has returned, baby.
Woo, yeah.
That's right. And it's time for your main event. Coming down the aisle, we have the one, Bobby Wrestles. And he is accompanied by the beautiful Mia Moore. This is the main event. Welcome to the All About Wrestling podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not wasting any time. I'm going to get my co-host in here, the beautiful Mia Moore. Hello there.
Hey. I think your hair's messed up over there.
I know, I'm having a bad hair day, but how you been?
I'm great. I'm chilling like a villain.
I hear you. You've been missed.
Yes, I have been missed, and I've missed all of you as well. I think Bobo the Clown or whatever Fandito's calling him.
Oh, man.
Bobo the Clown.
Bobo the Clown.
Mr. AKA Doink the Clown over here is trying to copy my green hair. Oh, no, you're not a mime, are you?
I'm just doing what Doink would normally do.
Oh, okay. Man, you guys, if you're not on this podcast today, you are definitely missing out. I'm pretty sure he's not going to do this again, but like this is
if I lose a bet, I will. I'm a man of my word. I'm a clown of my word.
Yeah, you're a clown, all right.
Oh, hold up. Grandma Daisy, oh my God. Grandma Daisy. We got a super chat. Thank you so much, Grandma Daisy, for the super chat. Mia Moore, we got a super chat.
Yes, Grandma Daisy, never disappoint us.
Never.
It's always a pleasure to have you on the show, and as promised, Doink the Clown is here for you.
Doink the Clown is here, and Grandma Daisy, you know, you spearheaded this major accomplishment, you know, because I'm a man of my word. Grandma Daisy, you said Doink the Clown, we did Doink the Clown. All right, so boom, there you go. When we do a super chat, what do, Mia Moore? We do some quotes, right?
Yes, please.
All right, let's do some quotes. All right. Now, I've been keeping a list, and we have on the list, Grandma Daisy's on the list, Fandito, Sean Johns, Cash Money Simon, Ellie Underdown. Perhaps we'll have a repeat winner. The quote of the day, the wrestling quote of the day is, you ready, Mia Moore?
I'm ready.
Let's see. These have gotten so easy. Here we go. Pimpin' ain't easy. Pimpin' ain't easy. That's the quote of the day. All right. Do you know who that is, Mia Moore?
I mean, I kind of have an idea, but I feel like it's so old. I don't even know the guy's name.
But you know it's a guy, right?
Yeah.
It's gotta be a guy,
The guy
right?
who used to come out with the cane.
Yeah.
I don't even know his name. That's so bad, guys. I'm so horrible at this.
Grandma Daisy's on point. The Godfather.
Yes.
The Godfather. Grandma Daisy, you are our two-time list bearer. All right, so Grandma Daisy, you've been on our list twice. Very fitting, very fitting. But I do want to talk about some wrestling news. All right, let's go ahead and have our Wrestling Online report. Ladies and gentlemen, the Wrestling Online is brought to you by Wrestling Online. Wrestling Online report. Of course, we have a few stories that we want to touch on. First, I do want to talk about Vince McMahon. So Vince McMahon, he reimburses WWE $17.4 million for the investigations costs. Now, we do know that these investigations were centered around Vince McMahon, and they were investigating him in reference to the hush money scandal. In a Form 8K filing with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, it was revealed that Chairman Vince McMahon has reimbursed WWE with $17.4 million in costs that the company incurred in the investigation over hush money payments. The agreement also includes the release of Mr. McMahon by the company regarding the recovery of the costs described above. So he gave the money back, right? So, of course, the company, they paid out of pocket for his investigation. He gave the money back. Does that scratch the dent made by Vince McMahon? Is he cleared? Is he forgiven, Mia Moore?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I'm on the same page with you. Ronda Rousey, she says she's fractured her radius in her elbow. In a post on Instagram, former champion Ronda Rousey confirmed that she has a fractured radius in her elbow, an injury which she suffered last month at a non-televised WWE event. Well, after thousands of dislocations, and this is her talking, I thought not tapping out to arm bars and tearing ligaments was cool in my teens. My elbow finally fractured simply by slapping the mat in Rockford, Illinois, right before WrestleMania. Rousey wrote on social media. All right, so the original plan was for her and Shayna Baszler to go up against the women's tag team champions for the straps. It's not going to happen now. What are your thoughts, Mia Moore? Are you disappointed? Or, you know?
I mean, yeah, I would say definitely I'm disappointed. However, she has to remember, like, she's getting old. Like, she can't just, like, jump around like she used to. You know what I mean? Like, age catches up to you, whether you feel it or not. I mean, you could feel the best that you can, but we have to remember, like, age definitely catches up to us. But I am a little disappointed. I love her. Like, I love seeing her in action, and that means that she's going to be out for how long? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. That's the repercussions of doing these things. So we all know it's always possible for this to happen.
Right. Right. Very well said. Trinity Fatu. All right. The Lady of Glow. She files for a new trademark. All right. She was known as Naomi in WWE. She's applied to trademark the name Trinity Star, so have her real name in this new name. The application was filed with the United States Patent and Trademark Office on March 20th through attorney Michael Dawkins, who's currently filed only for services and performances by a professional wrestler and merchandise. Fatu, who is no longer under WWE contract, all right, that's confirmed, has not appeared on TV since May of last year when she and Sasha Banks walked out of Raw. She will be appearing at WrestleCon next week as part of WrestleMania weekend, where she'll be signing autographs and posing for photos with fans. What are your thoughts, Mia Moore?
I kind of feel like a lot of wrestlers should trademark their names just because they deserve that. You know, they deserve their publicity. They work hard for it. They deserve it. Not seeing her for a while, I don't know. What does she have under her sleeve? Like, what's going on, really? And as far as her, you know, being at an event, that's wonderful. I love to see more wrestlers do that because I feel like we don't see that enough.
Right, right. Mercedes Moné in a three-way match for her first IWGP Women's title defense. All right, so Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks, she'll be going up against not one, but two opponents. Her first title defense in New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is announced. She's going to go against AZM and Hazuki in a three-way match at the upcoming Sakura Genesis event on Saturday, April 8th. Whoever walks out with the title will face Mayu Iwatani at Stardom's Yokohama Arena on Sunday, April 23rd. What are your thoughts? Moné's doing a thing in New Japan Pro Wrestling. She's full speed ahead. She's not looking behind. How do you feel about that and her success so far?
I love seeing her. I love seeing her wrestle. So I think she's doing great and good for her. Congratulations. And I hope she's happy where she is now.
Yeah, good for her. Good for her. Folks, this is the Wrestling Online Report brought to you by WrestlingOnline.com. And if you want to get in on these reports to your email, you want to go to Wrestling-Online.com, go to newsletter, and then you're going to be prompted to join this group. And once there, input your email, and you will get the Wrestling Online newsletter daily with all your updated wrestling news. So there you have it, folks. The Wrestling Online Report. How you feeling, mi amor?
I'm feeling good. Clown, how you feeling?
Well, that's really funny, huh?
I'm going to call you Clown for the rest of the day. Don't get mad.
That's a shame. It's really messed up.
It's
really
pretty
messed
cool.
up.
It's pretty cool. But I'm thinking, like, what were you thinking when you brushed your hair this morning? No, I'm just
Oh.
Oh, man, that's funny.
Very funny. Very funny. Folks, she's coming at me. She's coming at me. Go ahead.
You got a little flip going on there, you know?
I know. It's because I put my headphones on. I had them off originally, but then I said, you know what? I like to hear all the sound
And
effects and stuff.
you're going bald in the middle there.
Going bald in the front, in the middle. Jeez. That's because you stressing me out over here.
Oh, God. Here we go. Oh, man. You're a clown.
Literally. All right, folks. So let's talk about this kayfabe thing, all right? So, kayfabe. We asked the question, kayfabe, are wrestlers taking kayfabe seriously? All right, so are they? And of course, we all have our thoughts about kayfabe. Of course, if you were a fan of kayfabe or you're not, right? But the question is, do wrestlers take kayfabe serious? Now, kayfabe, according to dictionary.com, it says, in professional wrestling, the term kayfabe refers to the practice of maintaining the illusion that everything is real, including the scripted personas, rivalries, and storylines. This often extends beyond the in-match performance to other contexts, such as backstage footage and interviews. Now, we know The Undertaker is notorious for living his character day in, day out, so much so that The Undertaker, you wouldn't spot him. You wouldn't see him in public. Ric Flair, he lived his character. He was Ric Flair. He was never out of character. And, you know, these wrestlers, of course, Hall of Famers, legends in their own right. Perhaps kayfabe had some sort of impact for those accolades. But my question is, do wrestlers take kayfabe serious? In today's wrestling, it seems more real, and there's very few kayfabe wrestlers. Mi amor, what are your thoughts about this?
I kind of feel like kayfabe was taken more seriously back in the day. I feel like now with so many different streams of social media platforms, it's kind of hard to keep that going because we kind of see the reality of them. We see who they really are, what they do behind the scenes, what they do aside from wrestling. So somebody posted in the chat, like, I think it was Fandito, he doesn't feel like it's respected enough. And I totally agree with that. I feel like there's so many other things going on where they kind of branch off and they don't really take it as serious as they did back then. Right.
Now, are you a fan of kayfabe wrestlers, the character, the gimmick, the act, the performance? Or are you a fan of the realistic wrestling where it's like real and it's hardcore and it's rough and rugged?
I'm kind of in between. Like I said, we live in a day and age where people want to see reality. They want to see who you really are behind the scenes. So I think I'm kind of like split in between both. Like, I do like to see them in their character a lot, but right. I do like to see the reality of them, like the real life type of thing, because we have it in our minds like, oh, you know, they're celebrities, nothing can touch them. But that's not true. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see the real footage.
Right. So we did a poll. And of course we asked the contenders about this, and this is what they voted. So we asked about kayfabe. How serious do today's wrestlers take kayfabe? And 57% said not too serious. 29% said K what? So of course, there seems to be that the majority believes that, you know, kayfabe is not really taken seriously, or perhaps there's not much demand or much emphasis put on kayfabe, because perhaps maybe the product today is different, or maybe they're giving us something different. But either way, I mean, I think that's very impactful, that poll right there, to at least give us an idea of what fans either like or what they perceive in terms of wrestling. That picture, by the way, I want to talk about. I'll put the picture back up. That picture right there, if you're a wrestling fan, that incident kind of resonates as being one of the incidents that kind of killed kayfabe, because when it happened, many people were like, what is going on? And there was no care about maintaining your character or maintaining the script, so to speak. This was in 1996. It's called the Madison Square Garden incident. So you see 4 wrestlers hugging, of course, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall. And rest in peace to Scott Hall, who's no longer with us. But behind the scenes, this group was known as the Clique. The Clique, because they were like wrestling royalty. A lot of decisions they were responsible for with decisions that were happening after the match or post-match. And they had a lot of influence backstage. But this was right around a time where Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, this was supposed to be like their last match. And they were slated to go to WCW. And, of course, you had a group of heels and a group of faces. They were going against each other. So after the match, of course, HBK and Scott Hall were faces. Nash and Triple H were heels. After the match, there was an embrace between all 4 characters. They hugged it out in front of the crowd, and the crowd was like, what is going on? Like, why is this happening? Of course, very few people back then knew that they were all friends. You know, a lot of the news sources and stuff that we have today, they weren't really out. Now today you get all of the news about backstage incidents and stuff like that. But the Madison Square Garden incident, perhaps that killed kayfabe, or maybe that was one of the incidents that had something to do with it. What would you think, Meow Moore, if you were in a crowd and you saw that going on?
I think I would be very disappointed. I feel like when you're on the clock, and when I'm saying on the clock, when you're doing your job or your career, I think you should just stick to the character, because you have all these people who come from all these different places. They're paying for it. They want to see a show. So just like you're saying, like if you go to an opera and you go and then you see what's going on in the background, like you don't want to see that. You want to see the people singing, like, you know what I mean? Like you really want to focus on what you're doing.
Right.
So yeah, it should never happen. It should never happen while you are performing. Not a bit. Like maybe when you leave and, you know, whatever, okay, that's fine. But when you're doing the job, when you're there, when you're performing, when you are in front of thousands of people who paid their tickets and who wants to see a show, definitely not. Well, go backstage and wait for that. You know what I mean? Like that should not be done right in the ring or even around anyone who can see it. We want characters. We want to see, you know, we want to see what we pay for.
Okay. Very good point. Very well spoken. Fandito has some comments here. He says he prefers when kayfabe kept on a lot of great storylines. I'm on the same page with him. He also says, look at Cody and his character. It's had layers and evolved from dashing Cody Rhodes to the American Nightmare. So
I love Cody Rhodes. I feel like even when he's out of character, he's in character.
Right. So do you prefer, do you prefer Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, or do you prefer him prior to that when he was like Stardust?
No, I definitely like the American Nightmare.
So you like the American Nightmare?
Yes.
Okay. I figured I'd throw that out there because you like, so now that can give us a sense that you like more realistic wrestling.
I do, but I also like that raw footage. Like I'm talking about when they get into the ring and there's emotion in it. I like that.
Grandma Daisy says she wants the Stardust character better. Interesting. All right. So I do want to share another crazy topic, and it regards MVP and an incident that he shared with everyone on Twitter. So he put up a tweet. It says, "True story. Pat Tanaka tried to rip me off for crack money when I was a young indie wrestler. He called me and told me to wire him $300 ASAP for a wrestling license in Japan, and I would be making $2,500 a week and a $50 a day per diem. He didn't get the money, but he did gain an enemy." What are your thoughts, Mia Moore? And this is old news, but like this type of behavior, do you think perhaps it goes on a lot more regularly behind the scenes?
Yeah, it's kind of like that statement that Jericho put up. You know, when he first started as a wrestler, he had to pay for all his own hotels, and he was with WWE. Yeah. So when it comes down to AEW, you know they're putting out that money so that their stars are getting quality or luxury hotels. Yeah. So I think that's pretty lame, honestly.
Yeah, it is lame.
Because we're talking about, okay, like these wrestlers, so if they're starting out or whatever the case is, they clearly don't have any money.
Right.
So what do you want them to pay for? They're doing this to make money, to get their name put out there. Like it's an investment. So yeah, I think it's pretty lame.
Yeah, it is pretty lame. And it's not surprising to me because we hear about all of the backstage drama that happens, and wrestlers, allegedly pulling each other down, the bullying and stuff like that. And of course, that is indicative of some type of abuse, drug abuse, or an addiction. Correct? So, I mean, it's easy to poke fun of it, but, he got scammed. And of course, Tanaka, perhaps he had some type of addiction or problem. If this is true, this is what MVP is alleging. And of course, on Twitter, there were other people that chimed in and said that it, most likely it happened.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of other stuff has happened that hasn't been posted. So, like, we don't really know. Like, we live in a different time right now. So, could you imagine what people used to do when they first started? Like, what they would sacrifice for, or like, it's just crazy. Like, we really don't know, like, the ins and outs and the shit they had to deal with.
Right. So, Mia Moore, I promoted that we were going to share some breaking news. And Mia Moore was going to have some breaking news. So would you like to share some breaking news with our viewers?
Yes, we are very excited. So we are starting our own printing business. I'm not going to say...
You're not going to say what type of printing business?
I'm not going to say. So it's going to be mostly T-shirts, but it's going to be a variety of things. Different things, custom-made products. So you just have to keep it locked to find out, what's happening. And our company is going to be Excited, right? Excited. So, yes, we are excited to start. And we're actually stoked to start making custom material.
Yes. And to say, and to go along with that, what Mia Moore said, that's why if you look at the scrolling text, we specifically asked you to follow us on Instagram and to input your shirt size and let us know who your favorite wrestler is. Right? So
we might have some gifts going out soon.
Exactly. So if you're on Instagram, make sure you go to Instagram, and if you follow us, you want to click on our profile, and you want to answer those questions, because the questions specifically ask you, who's your favorite wrestler? What's your shirt size? Okay. All right. So those are important because we like to give out gifts. Okay. So, Tantalizing Tony. We have some news about our show for WrestleMania.
Tantalizing Tony.
Folks, Tantalizing Tony will be reporting on our WrestleMania pre-show live from L.A. Hollywood, folks. Hollywood. So you don't want to miss this. Day 1 and day 2 reporting in live from Hollywood, the tantalizing one. He's going to be with us for our WrestleMania pre-show on day 1 and day 2. So we're actually going to talk about the matches. We're going to get some reactions. We're going to ask you guys who your picks are. And look at the bottom of the screen, folks. There it is. Let us know your favorite wrestler in t-shirt size on our IG profile by clicking sign up. Okay? It costs you nothing. Just go there, send us that information, and we'll be able to be in a better position for you guys. All right. So, meow more. Any more news, any more updates, anything that you want to share before we call it a show?
Yes, we are going to be documenting a journey, and we would love to share with everyone. So make sure you keep it locked. I'm not going to talk about what it is. Bobby can't talk about what it is. But we are going to be posting a documentary soon, and I hope you guys love it. I'm really excited.
Yes.
So make sure you guys keep it locked. It's a documentary, raw footage, shit that you're not going to see like on a regular. So make sure you keep it locked. And thank you for coming into the show today. And make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, share, follow, and go to Instagram, sign up so we can send you guys some t-shirts, okay?
And hit those likes.
Hit those likes.
Yeah, we'll catch you next time, folks. Take it easy.